stream. I've clicked the good to go button. Are we good to go?
Hello.
That wasn't really a good answer to my question, but alright.
Hello.
You're just repeating the same things now.
Spotted cow said moop.
Yes, it responded to our stream chat relay test consisting of beep.
Boop.
And boo, yeah.
And then
it
boop.
sounds a lot more inappropriate when you're saying it. Potato says yes. Sal is here. I might have mispronounced his yes.
Yay, Sal is here.
No, this.
Hello, sexy.
No,
shiny
stop
things.
it. You can't do this. Go find a.
Watch me.
I'm not.
Hello,
I'm participating
sexy,
in the stream.
shiny
If I were
things.
to go off and watch you, you would have nobody to click all the buttons, which, by the way, have been pressed. Feel free to start clicking your buttons.
Okay, so shall I just do a quick run through about what I've done off camera, which is very little, but just to let you know. For one thing, I realised that I've been storing all of the nymph eggs, the shine bug nymphs, which means that we have no shine bugs and none will be hatching, and if we come across any more, then I wouldn't be hatching. Yeah, anyway, to save the extinction of the species, I have stopped collecting the shine bug eggs. So I've taken that off. And you might notice that I have different settings for all of these end ones, and that's because I can then do copy settings and just run up the middle like that, and all of my special containers are always on the edge, and all of my general containers are tucked a bit further in. So yeah, got some more storage compactors because we're running out. Told them to open the doors, except that top one which is trapping a hatch, because we don't need all these doors open. I've realised that I'm going to have a problem with all this water unless I make the tanks a bit bigger, and it makes sense to have just a little bit more room, so I've extended the tanks upwards. I'm going to delete that. In fact, let me do that now. What else have I done? I planned out roughly the size that I want to make my power room. Dug out that little square there so we can let this carbon dioxide fall through. That's pretty much it. So, without no further ado, research. I want to get research, and so today's goal, our first goal, is to get some power set up. I want to get the smart battery and a coal generator going, and we'll need that so that we can power some pumps and a refinery thingy. We'll be creating clean water, but it'll be very germy clean water. But we'll be able to use that clean water for stuff, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, need power to do all of this. I'm going to put a temporary generator down here with a battery so that we can take people off the wheels and get some stuff running. And then once we've got that, I can actually also put in proper toilets, and then we can start looking at a proper power room setup. So that's the goals for today. Research I've done, jobs. I've also had a look at people's morale, and everybody's at a morale level of around about I think everyone's on 9, with the exception of Mia, who's a bit more in the blues. He's only got a morale of 8.
It's the hat. I'm wearing the wrong hat.
And Bernie, who thinks life is just full of beans.
Beans.
So, right, let's let them get on with it.
We had a new friend stored up from last time around. In the printer.
We have... Oh yeah, new friend, that's right. And I did have a look at these. Oh, hang on, sorry, that's a bit loud.
I'm a deaf old person. If I'm playing a Ghost of a Tailed game, I need to turn it up so I can hear my mouse tippy taps.
Ralph is our next person to bring in, but I don't want someone with bottomless stomach, or I don't want a flatulent at this stage, maybe later. No mouth breathers, so I'm going to reject them all.
Goodbye, Ralph.
So we
May you
shall...
rest in soup.
we'll wait for somebody better to be Ralph.
I don't know, I found the farty person to be quite fitting.
Oh, just realised they're going to get themselves trapped in there, aren't they, if I allow them to just build that? Yeah, don't just build that. Oh, now, the other thing I wanted to do, I will wait until they've gone to bed to do this. I think I want to limit the schedule a bit. I'm going to move the schedules around. I think I'll put... Right, yeah, I'm going to put everybody on the Please Don't Starve schedule to start with. So...
I'm not sure if I'm happy with that decision, but alright.
It's only temporary, because then I am gonna... That's gonna be our sort of starting schedule. And then what we're gonna do is the 1 hour later schedule. Right, I'm gonna pause that. Oh, don't wake up yet.
It's too late.
Too late.
One of them is already up. Who is it?
Okay. What I want to do here is to move like a bunch of people over. So I think we'll get... I want to make sure we've got at least 2 people. Maybe... Well, 3 people would probably be okay. So let's... Oh, yeah, so bath time would be there. Bedtime would be there. Downtime would be there.
No.
Downtime.
Downtime other direction. You're moving everything to the right.
Yeah, 1 hour later. So everything starts 1 hour later.
Yes, but you've just given them effectively more downtime.
4 hours?
Oh, I thought we're sticking with the normal 2.
No. This is the default that everybody falls into. Maybe I will change that then.
Yes, only work.
Yeah, let's just switch everything onto work first, because it's a bit easier to do it that way.
So
right,
all the new guys
bedtime.
get to... Oh.
Downtime, just because I probably won't remember immediately. And then
Bath time in the middle of the night. That's concerning. Who takes a bath at 3 in the morning? Speaking about baths, Potato claims that it's not soup, it's duplicant salsa. Well, to become salsa, you'd first need to be born, turning unborn duplicants into something. Goopy does not automatically turn it into salsa because it needs to be chunky for salsa. These were probably beings of swirly, unprinted light that turned into soup. I don't know. I don't know how the printing pot works.
Bernie's mastered his job. Alright, so... Yes, so now you learn better. Have you mastered the gopher job? Yes, you have. Let me remember.
Really?
So the next one... this is Bernie.
Oh.
So I'm going to make you a groundskeeper because that adds 2 to your strength.
Yes, make the bear even stronger. That's gonna help. So today I was discussing... Ooh. What?
New hat.
Oh, and you missed looking at it.
Sorry,
I'm disappointed. Anyway, returning to my life stories. So today I was discussing the prospect of earning money with a coworker. Apparently, the idea of exchanging hours of your life for money seemed to disgust the woman. She's odd, I guess. Point in case being, when I exclaimed that I'd like to have more hours in the day to work, she somehow leapt to the conclusion that this meant I want to have 38 hours in the day so I can work during all of these and earn money. Sure, sounds nice, but in practice, the planet does not have enough hours in a day to support this. As she has told me vehemently immediately afterwards. It just instead of correcting her mistake, the suggestion of using different planets with longer day cycles came up. She suggested Mars. I informed her Mars only has 25 hours in a day, so that wouldn't work. I wasn't sure about how many hours in a day Jupiter has, but that was the next suggestion. Then, in the meantime, another co-worker, Phil, lovely guy, occasionally
Mia,
wears a styrofoam
you've mastered the gopher job.
Oh, you interrupted my styrofoam hat story.
I'll just work out what I'm gonna get you doing next while you do styrofoam hats.
No?
What?
Groundskeeper.
First of all, I want to know, have you mastered research? No, you haven't, so I'm going to get you on research.
Ugh, the worst hat. Fine. So as I was trying to say, and after the suggestion of living on Jupiter to work longer days was made, a co-worker called Phil, he's the guy who occasionally wears styrofoam hats in the office, came by and suggested, what about Scotland? The sun's up very late there too, he said. I'm assuming he didn't mean it like this, but in the context of the conversation, it sounded like he was implying Scotland is further away than Jupiter. Anyway, say hello to Isaacs.
Hello, Isaacs.
I'm not sure if that's actually how you pronounce the name.
Well, do feel free to tell us how to pronounce your name if we have pronounced it incorrectly.
That's easy. It's like Mia, which sounds like ear, but with a at the start. Yeah, I told everyone. I'm not sure why you told me to tell everyone. They should know. It's me, Mia.
I need more metal. I think I'm going to go get that pocket of iron mined there.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Isaacs is asking if anyone's here, but, oh no, the chat relay is working. So for the record,
yeah, everybody say hello to Isaacs.
We stream to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. The fact that you see like 100 messages from Salford Sal does not mean Sal is suffering from schizophrenia and is pretending to be several different people. That username in brackets after Salford Sal's name on YouTube implies that there's a Twitch user on the other end saying things to you. He was asking if anyone's here.
Yeah.
I said that.
Can't mine through that.
Or maybe he just can't hear us. In which case, that explanation was wasted. I'd apologize. He wouldn't hear that either.
Everybody say hello.
They already did. Look. They said hello and moo, which I suppose sounds like hello in cowish.
That well-known language, cowish.
I might have gotten the name of the language wrong. Spotted cow, what do you call the tongue of the cows? In the meantime, Potato reminded me that I was to talk about Verfolgungswahn. I'm not sure if we're ready for that story yet. Also, I'm not sure if I remember the story correctly. It would have helped if you had been there. Were you there when we were talking about Verfolgungswahn? Oh yes, you were. You've probably forgotten too.
Yeah, was I not paying attention, maybe?
I doubt it. You were very enthralled by the idea of people on the other side of the window wearing little to no clothes.
That sounds like me, but I still don't actually recall under what circumstances I was enthralled by the idea of people wearing little
That's the problem with you. You have too many situations in which you could see yourself talking about people without clothes. Like I said, it'll have to wait. In the meantime, how is chat doing? I realize I've been only talking about myself lately. I also realize that I'm really bad at telling stories while I'm actually the one playing. I'm not trying to say I've reviewed the footage from yesterday, but whatever I was talking about was a nightmare. I spotted cow suggesting cowmish, cowvegian, or moolish. What about bovine? Sounds a bit more divine. No, I'm not happy with that.
Okay. Now, I would be happy to get this in.
I'll be honest, from up here, it kind of just looks like I've got a bunch of marshmallows stuck in my hair. I'm trying to say this science hat looks dumb.
Gonna replace that with insulated tiles. I'm gonna keep it on sandstone because the sandstone that we've collected is nice and cool. So that would go down there.
I spotted cow suggesting Bovegian, and Crazy Potato's doing quite alright. He's multitasking and watching stream while playing on his 3DS. I used to have a 3DS. It was interesting, but eventually I gave it away to an elderly member of society in hopes that they would start playing Dr. Cover Doodle's brain jogging.
Was this like one of those use our thing and it will keep your brain healthy?
Yes, my hopes was that they would not die from amnesia. Problem is, they couldn't figure out how to turn the 3DS on anymore after I gave it to them because they were already suffering from, it's not amnesia, it's age-induced senility? Hold on, senility is kind of already implied with age. Age is already implied with senility. What do you call the affliction where you're being senile? Senility doesn't sound right.
Alzheimer's?
Oh!
Yes, senility does it.
It does?
Alright, let's see how everybody's doing. I didn't like your cooking, Mia.
Oh yeah, you don't like most things. I don't like the hat you've given me.
Ooh,
I'm jealous of Belossa's hat.
We've got people hanging out here.
There are too many people around
They'd
the water
really like
dispenser.
bristle blossoms.
What did you just talk about?
We're talking about research.
Oh, it kind of just looks like a pile of compost.
I don't know whether they like or dislike.
Well, they're not Sims.
bristle
They
blossom.
don't have to express their favorites with every... Shouldn't they be all sleeping at different hours of the day?
They'll go to bed at different times.
They all went to bed at the same time just
now.
now.
That they are, I want to add another new schedule, and this
heavens.
one will be 2 hours later.
In the meantime, say hello to Lieutenant Lucan,
Hello, Lieutenant Lucan.
who says we're alright, but our cover of being actual people and not different Sal personalities has been blown, so it's kind of sad. Also, hello.
Okay, so now we want to, let's see, we'll make bedtime go on this long, bath time that long, downtime there. Yeah, that'll be right. And I'll... Well, I like a lion, so I am going to shift.
Yeah, of
upward.
course, the boss gets to have
I'm putting you on a 2 hour later shift
I
as
don't
well.
enjoy waking up at like 3 in the afternoon.
But you always go to bed late, even when you say you're not gonna.
I know. And yet I still wake up early to join the workforce at a reasonable time.
Well, someone's got to go to the office to do work.
Well, yeah, that's me.
Oh, Lieutenant Lukin's here. Hello.
You said hello to him!
Oh, did you? Sorry. Might not be.
I told you to say hello, and you said
see,
hello, Lieutenant
I
Lukin.
just do what I'm told. I don't necessarily think about what you're telling me to do.
Oh. Potato is asking, when are you going to make some oxygen? He's unhappy with the bodily gases floating around in the facility. She already is. Look, there's a small oxygen generator up there in the corner. It's bubbling.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a battery.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the oxygen generator. But also these are generating oxygen.
They look smelly, though.
They are, but they're really, really good at generating oxygen.
On a side note, please say hello and pay attention to Cell Technology.
Hello, Cell.
And Tammy.
Note to self: I have said hello to Cell.
You're going to forget that note.
I probably will. Oh, do you know what the other thing is? We should put an egg cracker in. I'll put it up here.
Next to the cooking station?
Well, yeah, it's to make omelettes.
Oh, I thought there was some weird hatching facility where we slowly crack the egg open to coax the animal out.
Alright, things seem to be running okay. What research have we got now? That's good.
Is the music too loud?
Not for me, but I've turned down my volume because you have my headphones very high.
I know. I've just turned down the game volume a teensy tiny bit. If it's still too much music for you, please let us know.
And before I forget, I should now be able to put that granite in there without them blocking themselves in.
Remind me, what other funny stories did we experience in the office lately? I remember a whole slew of them, but I can't remember any of them in detail anymore, besides the Verfolgungswahn one. Are we allowed to talk about Boris?
I don't know. Have you asked him? Oh, look, I feel appreciated. Apparently, yeah.
By the floor?
By somebody else, I guess.
Hold your horses, I'm going to see if Boris is happy with me talking about him. Almost there, everybody. Hold the suspenders. Boris. Old house. Are you okay?
Did you just call him an old arse? Which,
I said
you know,
house! Although it
under
would
the
tie in with his
circumstances.
new superpowers. He's been in a hospital because of them.
Ooh.
Boris,
New friends.
Old house. I don't know how to carry on.
Noodle arms, no. Bottomless stomach, no. Gastrophobia, don't mind. Squeamish, don't mind. Not sold on this person though.
No, I
think
don't
we'll
like
wait.
him either. As I was saying, Boris, old house, are you okay with Sal, brackets, not me, making fun of your
Condition.
condition on stream? Love, Mir. I probably shouldn't have posted that on Twitter. Now Sal has an avenue to defend herself. And now we'll just lean back and wait for Boris to get back to us. In the meantime, it's going to be embarrassing because it has something to do with his butt.
We're not very happy with the toilets.
Yeah, no. Sal Technology points out that the suspenders usually hold themselves. Oh, another thing. My co-worker that I keep referencing and mentioning, you know, the weird lady who does some crazy stuff, was very unhappy with the frequency at which I use the phrase, hold the horses. She found it funny at first and informed me that it's a very endearing thing to say, and I should keep it up. And I did keep it up, but apparently I've been saying it so much lately that she told me today she's very annoyed by it, and I should never ever say it again, please. So I apologized and did the only sensible thing. I told her to keep the phone back. She looked defeated afterwards.
We are going to need to put in a granulator.
Potato is quite amazed by the nudists. Like, that takes a lot of body confidence and self-esteem. Which nudists?
I don't know.
I don't want to know, I think. And Sound Technology dubs the co-worker I was referencing as Mrs. Co-worker, the anti-horse holder. And Aziz is back saying, hey. Hey you, yes, me. Or Sal. Sal, say hello.
Hello.
That's Sal. Potato just is amazed by nudists in general. I tend to disagree. I had half a country full of them. I don't need more. Aha! Cell Technology says nudists are weirdos to him. I agree. Why would you ever want to wear no clothes?
Yes, as previously mentioned, given the choice, Mia would wear clothes in the bath. Right, we retain the room? Yes, we have.
Tammy's asking, are we going to talk about naked bike riding again?
Oh, that was a bit of a revelation for me, wasn't it? Not necessarily the kind of revelation you wanted.
What's the opposite of a divine revelation, where it's just the devil smacking your face with an uncomfortable bit of knowledge?
No idea. All right.
Aziz wants to know, what are you doing there? Sal, explain yourself. What are you doing?
All right. So the goal at the moment is I want to build a freshwater tank and a polluted water tank. Oh, I'm just going to freeze this. Pause it for a second. So yeah, I want a polluted water catch tank and an infected clean water tank so that we can put our polluted water in here. We'll drop it through a distillery thingy, drop it into here, and then we can, once we've got that going, we can put in some toilets, some proper toilets, and that'll actually generate more water for us because the toilets add water into the system. Now, to do that, I'm going to need pumps and things. I'm going to need a lot more power than I've got at the moment. So I'm going to set up a generator down here. That'll be the next thing we research. With a smart battery. And we're going to need a granulator to make some copper for the automation that we'll set up here. And then once we've got that going, we've got some water purifying going on and we've got toilets going on. At that point, I shall start building a proper power plant room out here. So I want to insulate the base from the heat over here. So I am using sandstone insulated tiles. At the moment, nobody can mine a bismuth.
Stop. You're overheating.
I'm not overheating.
Look at yourself. You're glowing red.
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm 37 degrees, which is perfectly average frigid.
I'm not sure if Zeeks can hear us. I assume the rest can hear us, otherwise this chat wouldn't have coincidentally steered towards...
Why am I so pleased with myself?
I don't know.
Oh, research complete. Okay. So next thing... Right, I've got my smart batteries. Next thing is internal combustion. And let's get the rock granulator in. Where am I going to put that?
In the basement?
No, because it needs to be manually operated.
Yeah, but the rock granulator sounds dirty.
It is. It's not ideal. I'll put it up here.
Of course, you're going to put it up there where it just rains down on the food production.
That actually is where I have my Jeffries tube. So I'm going to put it there.
Your what tube?
Jeffries tubes.
Why do you call them Jeffrey? I mean, it sounds like something Boris would do, but not you.
Can't remember. It's got something to do with Star Trek.
Oh. Yeah, I guess if Pelosa were here, he's probably going to be here in the future by rewatching this archive version. What do you call it? VOD? Video
VOD.
on demand?
That's the one.
Nightmare. He's going to criticize me for not knowing my Star Trek well enough.
I want that one across, actually.
Crazy Potatoes asking Zeeks what part of the world he's from. Also, Zeeks can hear us.
Oh, very good.
That's mildly reassuring, thank you very much. I was concerned when you were instructing us to talk. I thought that's what I've been doing the entire time, but apparently not.
So please excuse me. He has an interesting sense of humour. Don't you, Mia?
No.
Don't need that bottom one.
Shouldn't there be one group of people that's currently still awake?
Not now. Because they're not awake that much longer than everybody else.
What about the 2-hour late schedule?
Yeah, we'll watch them. Let's just check. Yeah.
Zeeks is wondering if people are speaking to him. Yes, I was asking you. What part of the world are you from? Well, theoretically, one of our chat members on Twitch was asking you this, but you seem to be unable to see their messages, I think. Also, Zeeks wants to know who's the person playing.
That's me, Salford Sal.
The woman. Wiggle your mouse to signal that it's you.
It's
See,
me.
it's her.
Mm-hmm.
That proved a lot of things. Zeeks is from Algeria.
Oh, welcome.
Did we have someone from that corner of the world before? Do people get, like, small little trophies for being the first from a country?
I don't remember anybody from Algeria before.
You didn't remember greeting Lieutenant Lukin, so on second thought, you might not be the most reliable source to ask this.
Yeah. We have had somebody, or we've had a couple of people from over on the African continent before. But I don't think we've had anyone from Algeria.
Well, if I had one, I'd give you a tiny trophy.
Yeah.
Either way, Sal is probably happy to have you here.
Absolutely. It's one of the things I really like about my stream chat is it's a very international.
Zeeks says thanks. Although, the way how the spotted cow gave me some salt beforehand makes it look like Zeeks is thanking the spotted cow for giving me salt.
Right, smart battery. Oh no, I need the granulator. Have you finished the granulator? Yeah, we finished the granulator. Okay, we need to turn some... I've got iron ore actually. I could turn some... Have I got enough is the question. Yeah, I should have now. Be mining. And
How long has been refining part of the game?
How long what, sorry?
Refining, how long has there been a part of the game now?
At least 4 upgrades. 4 updates. Yeah.
Ooh, heavens, I haven't played this in a while. Isaacs would like to know from what grand part of the world are you... Oh, no, hold on. He didn't say grand. From what part of the world are we from? Potato is from the grand land of Canada, which basically translates to village, as has been foretold to us by one of our friends from Canada, Anubis Ra. And Sal is from the UK.
Uh-huh.
And I am from Germany, although it probably doesn't sound like this. Although I can prove it. Just watch out. Guten Morgen, mein Name ist Meer und ich spreche jetzt ein bisschen Deutsch, damit ihr verstehen könnt, dass ich eigentlich irgendwo eine andere Nationalität habe.
Oh, and we should mention that because of the way the stream is set up, there is about at least a 20-second to 30-second delay.
That's not by our design, that's unfortunately our Restream provider. We stream towards Restream, and then Restream, the website and or company, restreams our stream to other stream sites like... oh no. Oh dang it. What? I just realized I wanted to set up Restream to stream our Restream stream to Steam, because streaming is now a streamable thing.
I thought I had one egg. Oh no, I don't.
Someone remind me to set up Steam streaming for the next time. That's mainly you, Sal, because chat can't remind me of this. By the time chat can remind me, it's too late.
Oh dear, we're back to mush fries.
The spotted cow is from Norway. Tammy is from the southern USA. Sal Technology is from Finland. And Isaac says it's nice to meet you.
Yes, and it's nice to meet you too.
Isaac knows Montreal and Quebec in Canada. And Potato rightfully points out that he is the artist who makes all the pretty pictures for Sal's channel. And we highly appreciate him for that.
And Lieutenant Lukin is from Russia, but I think he's in Florida at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Is this idle people, or is that just Bernie on a rest?
Why would you want to go from a place that is so reasonably well conditioned, like the Arctic parts of Russia, to Florida? I'm assuming he's from the Arctic parts of Russia because that's where I'd like to be. Potato, don't be mean to Isaacs just because he misspelled Quebec a bit. You don't want me going back and pointing out how you spelled Alzheimer's wrong.
True.
Tammy wants to know
that's cute. Listen to that.
Does everything snore cutely in this game? It's concerning. How does this weird large thing in the...
The hatch?
No, the hydro...
Hydro what?
What was the hydro gas called? Hydrogen. There we go. What does the large, weird... Oh, it's not the hydrogen.
Pointing at your screen doesn't help me.
Yeah, I know. The large stuff, the large guy in the green gas, upper left corner, what does he snore like?
What?
Green gas, upper left corner of
upper
your
left
screen.
Corner? Yeah.
Green gas. What does this guy snore like?
Oh, that one. The
Yes.
Draco. I don't know.
Ugh, he doesn't make very nice noises so far.
Oh, right. That should give me the coal generator. Very good.
Yeah. Returning to the question, Tammy was asking, how much stream can a Steam restream if a stream can restream stream? And Cell Technology rightfully points out, as much a Steam as a stream can restream from stream. Isaacs loves this channel.
Oh, thank you.
Sal probably loves you too.
Yeah. Sorry, I am just... What am I missing? I'm missing some more refined metal.
We're out of power up here.
Oh, I haven't even plugged it in yet, that's why. Oops. That's right.
Haven't you done this recently before where you just forgot to plug something in the office?
All the time.
Yeah,
I mean, not always, but, you know, often enough. Just a little bit worried about the food situation at the moment.
Potato points out he didn't mean the Quebec thing in a mean way. It's just a way he's never seen it spelt before, and he quite liked it. And he wants to use it for jokes in the future. Well, alright. But try to be careful. There's a language barrier here, probably, and we wouldn't want to give people the wrong impression. The spotted cow's asking me to make more food. Are you sure you want me to make more food? Sal's been complaining about it the entire game so far. Speaking about Sal, she did not eat my chili. I make like a big, large pot of chili, and she doesn't want it. As in, literally, today, in real life. A lovely, large pot of chili, like tons of beans, spicy stuff.
Now, Potato, you're making a very sweeping statement about an awful lot of people there.
Yeah, but it's the French.
Me?
Yeah, I'm making very sweeping comments about Canadians there too.
Actually, Potato's doing some of the cooking.
Oh, how dare he? Shouldn't Potato be running in another NPC's wheel? I thought Potato was the runner. I forgot.
Oh, it doesn't matter. As long
He's
as...
in theory the artist, but we're out of canvases.
Uh-huh.
Tammy thought Canadians were really nice until you give them a hockey stick. I'm afraid that's a universal rule. I met some nice people in southern Germany. Well, as nice as Germans can be, I suppose. And they turned into violent lunatics as soon as they started playing hockey. It was concerning. One of them was a very religious chap called Mengele. He was just crazy. As in with a hockey stick. Oh. Isaac's would like to have more information on how to play the game. I'm talking too much about tangential topics.
Okay. So, the game has updated recently, and I usually play this game at quite a high level. I've studied, because I'm an engineer by trade, and I love the engineering aspect to this. And
you could call her an
really
expert in this game.
Huh?
You could call Sal, that's the woman over there, an expert.
Normally I do an expert run, but this time it's like this update has really, really changed it. So what we've got to do is keep our people happy. That's become really, really important. We've got to keep them happy, fed, and give them enough oxygen to survive.
So, the biggest nightmare for an engineer here, as Sal implied to be, is that now she has to deal with human emotions instead of autonomons.
Yeah, and that's not...
She's not
necessarily
used to...
the easiest thing.
She's not used to petting her workers.
Someone took the omelette, the best food I produced, that Mir produces, and threw it on the floor. But we have new friends. Let's have a look. No, I don't want any of them. No, afraid not.
Isaacs would like to know if you could explain how to make a ranch.
Right, a ranch stream. So, the important thing about ranching is that you need to have somebody who is qualified as a rancher, which used to be quite easy, but now you get into tier 4 morale. So they've got to be a really happy person. They've got to have a morale of level 12. I don't think I have any... Oh, Sal's on morale 18 at the moment. He must have just eaten some really good food. Everybody was around 9. But it's going up, actually. So we might be able to get into ranching. Okay. Because I wanted to do that. Well, if we can do that... Who did I want to be... If we can do that, then I will get on with that, actually. Who did we want as the rancher? Hang on, there was somebody who particularly fancied the job. No, there isn't anybody who really wants to be a rancher. Okay, so who would be our best rancher? I think it was Spotted Cow.
No, the
Let's
Spotted
check.
Cow was a farmer.
So it would be Bernie.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think we shall make... We can turn Bernie into a rancher. What did he actually want to be? Where are you? I've got you doing groundskeeping at the moment.
You don't want him to stay as a ghost of his life.
Yeah, let's take him off groundskeeping. Oh, he wanted to be a gopher.
Oh.
Right, so in that case, I'm going to switch him up to being a farmhand. He's already learnt to be a researcher, so he'll pick that skill up pretty fast. And that way he can be training while I set up the ranch. So first thing is that the ranch... Let's have a look at the maximum size. Right, stable. So we want to keep him in a stable, and the maximum size is 96 tiles.
Ooh.
So, 96 tiles in 4 high means that you want a base of 24.
Oh. It sounded
With
like
200.
a lot more at
Yeah,
first.
so this is a 96 tile room here. So I think I'll put my ranch here.
Mm-hmm.
I want it quite high up because the oxygen tends to be higher than the carbon dioxide. And at the moment, while I haven't got my gas sorted out, I need to make sure that anywhere where people are going to spend a lot of time, they need to be able to breathe easy. And ranching is a job that takes a lot of time. So I'm going to put the ranch up here.
In the meantime, Isaac's points out that you have a lot of polluted oxygen in the colony.
I do.
You should try to make some aerodrainers.
Yeah, I've got 1 or 2 dotted around the place, but because I haven't got any slime lung or anything, it's not a particular problem just yet. Alright, so we'll take it up to there. I'm going to have to close off that top one as well. And we'll put some doors at this end. To maximise the space, I should really move this up. I should get rid of the... move my oxygen generator.
Well, moving it won't cost you anything, right?
It's just where I move it to. Because it's kind of central to the oxygenated area there.
What about one of your Jeffrey tunnels?
It wouldn't fit. So it would fit, but then the oxygen... I suppose I could put it here, actually. So then the oxygen would get out the top. Oh, good call, Mia. I think that'd work. Let's try it.
Ooh.
So if we were to drop one in there, would that work? Should be, yeah. I know it says we're overpowered, but we would never use both research machines at the same time. So yeah, I'll shift that down. We'll put another... I use pneumatic doors because they allow for good airflow.
Someone's skill just increased.
Very good.
Does that mean we need to take them off their job?
No. Skill increases as you run around. So just running around, you'll gain athletics. Depending on what you're doing, you'll get various skills. So we want to get rid of that as well. Then in here, we want the grooming station. Now, I would like the grooming station to be as close to the door as possible, because that makes it quicker for your rancher to just pop in and out. Then the next thing that I want relatively close by is the feeders. And so that because these are going to need topping up, so we shall I'll put in a few.
You're currently about to destroy a lovely little hatch nest. Isaacs is asking,
yes,
why aren't you removing the algae terrariums? They produce a lot of polluted oxygen.
Oh, they've in this upgrade, they've been buffed quite considerably. So now they're a very efficient way to produce oxygen. So they're not actually producing the polluted oxygen. It's the polluted water in front of it that's giving us polluted oxygen. So once we can deal with the polluted water, we won't have that problem, which is kind of where we're going.
Potato points out that given how much CO2 is down there in the bathroom, you would die as soon as you're suffering from constipation. Also, say hello to Blood Elf Craggy.
Hello, Blood Elf.
I've heard that name before. Who was this? Anyway,
yeah, I remember Blood Elf being here before, but I can't remember.
He points out that he loves watching Oxygen Not Included when you're playing it. Sal is currently in the middle of herding animals.
Yeah. So, but so the seasons that I've done on YouTube before.
Sal is asking, was it Cobalt? Was his name Cobalt?
Was it Cobalt? Can't remember.
Yeah, but Blood Elf Craggy is confirming that he watched in the past.
Yeah.
So welcome back.
Yeah. So this is not one of my usual expert runs, partly because as soon as this update came out, I just immediately started playing. I didn't practice it and learn what it was all about before starting the season. I think it had actually released on the day that it released by
literally 2 hours
it?
before you started streaming it, yes.
And also, like, when I'm streaming, I've got you guys, my shiny, distracting things.
Speaking about distractions, Isaacs would really like you to remove those bottled waters of collusion.
Yeah, I would like to do that as well.
Those bottles of
Which is what all of this is about here.
Of pollution water. Heavens. They can't reach this.
Well, so now we should have enough to build the smart battery. Yes, we have. Very good.
What does the smart battery do again?
It switches off the coal generator when we don't need it. So let's
That is smart.
Right, so that's connecting the automation. That's the control wire. And now we need
a normal wire.
Some actual wire, which we can lay over the top. And then I'm just going to run this up here.
Wasn't there a thing about electrical wire networks that are too long?
Not too long. It's about the amount of power that you put on them.
Oh.
So, for this ordinary wire, it can take a maximum of 1,000 watts. So 1 kilowatts is the maximum that it can carry. Otherwise, it'll burn itself out. So, at the moment, I've got a potential demand of 1,200 watts. So if this and 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 that were all being used at the same time, then it would melt the wires. I'm okay overloading the cable because I know that we won't get all those things used at the same time at the moment.
Fair point.
And I'm going to remove...
Does the other...
that
oxygen generator down there actually work? It only does things sporadically.
It max gas pressure. That's because the whole base is at at very high pressure.
Okay.
As we dig out stuff, it creates a vacuum, which gives more room for the gases to flow around.
I appreciate the depth of simulation the game has. In the meantime, Cell Technology appreciates the bottles of collusion pollution we have.
Of the
Bottles of collusion pollution.
Collusion pollution. Right, now, what are we gonna feed? Could feed them meal lice. I don't want to feed them sandstone, and we don't have any sedimentary rock, I don't think.
Iozeeks really hates the polluted oxygen because in his last colony, his duplicant was sick.
Oh, yeah.
And it spread through the entire colony, and they
terrible.
all died because of it.
Yeah. And the thing to watch out for there is slime lung. So they can get sick as well with food poisoning, but even though you get bits of it in the air, and it can get into the air really thick, they can't catch it by breathing it. But with slime lung, if this gets into the air, then yeah, absolutely, it'll kill your whole colony. If you've got pure oxygen, it'll kill the germs. But if you've got polluted oxygen, it will cause the germs to breed. So for the moment, because I'm not being careful with my polluted oxygen, I've got to be very, very careful about not letting any slime lung into the base.
Potato says, breathe the bottom gas, love the bottom gas, be the bottom gas. I might have censored a few things, but in either case, Tammy says ew.
Okay, right, now that we've got that connected up, just need to think about my power consumption. So
now people, Cell Technology appreciate the methane high, but trust me, the real deal is chloroform.
Let's see. We won't use that, and we're unlikely to use that. So that gives me 480. There's plus 60. So we've got over 500 spare on here, which would give me 2 pumps. That still doesn't give me the capacity, though, to put the water purifier on. So I might have to keep this wheel going just to power things on here and let everything else connect up to the bottom wire. Let's do that, though.
Someone mastered their job.
Yeah. Right, let's connect this for the moment.
Can't we put in a switch or something like that?
Alright, and then this. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that being between 0 and 100. That'll do. Right, who's mastered? Oh, me. Alright, what have I not done?
Finally, you'll lose your fancy hat. You'll now become a commoner like us.
Potato's about to... Oh, have I done this one? No, I haven't. Right, I'll switch me over to being a gopher. And then Potato's about to switch as well. And research. I want to start researching distillation. There it is. The water sieve. That's what we want.
Now, while you're doing this, fair warning to stream chat, now that it's still a bit in advance, I see that the duplicant printer is about to be ready to print another duplicant.
Oh, Ralph was the one who asked to go next.
Well, Ralph's not here. Was Ralph nicht weiß, macht ihn nicht heiß.
Okay, right, so Potato has mastered Gopher. And I think... Has he done research? Come on, give me that. Yep, so he's done research. We shall now put Potato onto Groundskeeper then.
as I was trying to say, we usually try to name the duplicants after volunteer stream viewers. So if you'd like to be in the colony and would like to speak up and volunteer as tribute to Sal's potential death trap, speak up now.
Hey, I haven't killed anybody yet.
Keyword is still yet. I remember those early days when you just let me suffocate in a hole. Bard Elf Craggy is wondering if an elf could be the next duplicant.
Oh, certainly. We are nearly there, actually. 0.2 cycles.
Potato puts my question more bluntly and says, who wants to die in the game? In Azig's opinion, eating natural is better than artificial because it does not spoil good taste for people and does not consume too much energy in its production. That depends. If you're talking about real life and you could automate and completely grow meat, for example, in the lab, there is the potential to significantly decrease the energy consumption needs for that lab-grown meat, which would have a positive effect on the environment because, less bottom-winding cows.
Are you calling spotted cow farty?
I'm not trying to point
Hang on,
fingers at people.
why is everybody really hungry? What do we have in the food?
We do have 26,600 calories.
Mush bars. Oh yeah, okay. So we'll get back onto pickled meal. Oh, I forgot to put it back onto mush fry. Let's get those mush bars turned into mush fries first, and then we'll go back to pickled meal. Right. Okay. Well,
Tammy says this is like pixel piracy. She doesn't want to be with the icky boys. Well, which one of these could be an elf?
I don't like any of these.
Why not?
Unconstructive. So this guy is at risk of digging himself into a hole that he can't build himself out of. Flatulent. I do like flatulent dupes because you can use their gas to power the base, but we're not ready for that yet.
She did a whole series on that.
I did. Oh no, I didn't. It wasn't a series. I did it off camera.
Oh,
I played a whole base where every single dupe was flatulent. I think I called it the Farty Asylum Hole or something. Oh. It's like we rescued all the flatulent dupes in the world and threw them all in one base. And this guy's anemic, which means that he's a rancher though. Doesn't want to be a rancher though.
But he wouldn't be a good
they're
rancher.
Not very good actually.
Fine.
Yeah, we'll try again. Another 2 cycles. And I'm afraid I'm gonna let everybody go hungry. Sorry everybody. I forgot to tell them.
Fellas, trust me, just use the drink dispenser in the recreation room. It's just as good as eating.
Yeah, there's plenty of water.
So you didn't see me complain. Oh no, there I am complaining.
I mean, I could give them access to the meal lice so that they
shall go hungry.
But I'd rather not.
I think you should explain why you don't always accept new duplicants, Sal.
Because if we want the base to survive a good length of time, then we've got to be fussy about who we bring in. Make sure that they're highly skilled duplicants. And just things like, it's going to be a little while before I can build another bedroom, and I've only got 1 spare cot. So
also, you want to make sure that their quirks and problems are not a deficiency to the base. So if you'd bring a flatulent person on board, you would increase the number of polluted oxygen in the atmosphere.
Not polluted oxygen, that's natural gas.
All right,
which
you would
can't be
increase,
breathed.
which would still be bad.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing about people farting. It doesn't matter how high your gas pressure is, people will still fart. And so when you get to a base which is starting to get
I'm not sure if
higher
I want
gas
to work,
pressure.
but how does that work on a bodily level that you can release more bottom wind than air pressure around
think
you?
of pressure in your stomach, I suppose.
All right, let me rephrase that. How high does the air pressure need to be in real life before before people, not me, I don't do it, before people are unable to release their bottom word?
Oh, do you know, while we've got...
Also, the spotted cows accusing me of having forgotten to make food. I was just following our grand leader's instructions, in brackets Sal, who forgot to tell me that I'm supposed to make food.
It wasn't that... I was telling you to make omelettes. I forgot that I hadn't switched you back to making mush bars. So, we shall...
Sal Technology says they hunger, Sal.
Don't worry, there will be... I'm hungering with you.
Yeah, sure she is. She has a secret stash of food under...
I hunger with you.
Yes, applaud yourself for your sneaky eating.
Okay. We will not be hungry for much longer. Mia's been cooking like a boss. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, for you. We had to suffer through starvation.
Right. Now, we've got power.
Potato zoned out and wants to know what happened. Short answer is, everyone in the base went hungry because Sal instructed me to only make omelettes and we ran out of eggs. Then everyone in the base was just gathering around the duplicate print and complained that there's no food. And Sal then said, don't worry, I'm suffering with you without food. And then we zoom into the mess hall where Sal is the only one sitting at a table having a secret snack that nobody else had. Sal Technology says, yeah, sure, you hunger with us. Shouldn't we install the cable down there first?
That probably would have been a wiser thing, actually. Sorry,
Is there
distracted.
a problem with having water and laying a live cable?
No, because the cable won't be live until after we're out of there.
Okay.
But, right, what I do need to do next anyway...
Apparently everybody laughs. It's more of a painful laughing because we're all dying of hunger. Thanks, Sal.
Let's get this in that wall, I think. I'll just take it to there for now. And I'll get the pipe going. Yeah, igneous rock will do just fine. And this is going to be pumping clean water, although the clean water will be infected clean water.
Isaacs points out that he's currently in dinner and seeing you, so he cannot ask you. I'm not sure what you're going to could be asking. Seeing how you're having dinner.
Yeah, enjoy your dinner.
Please do. But I'm glad that you still found the time to inform us that you're having dinner, despite being unable to ask the question. Seems a bit...
Right, I'll think about Mia.
Sorry,
be Mearish.
What do you mean, be Mearish? That's the opposite of what you wanted me to do.
Okay.
I like how quiet it is in the morning now that you sent almost half the base to sleeping into the middle of the day.
Well, once we get schedules, our next people, our next duplicant will go on one of these. So I'll probably put him on with Cell and Spotted Cow.
Because you don't want other people to suffer through the privilege of sleeping in
No,
late.
no, it's just that I'm going to be topping up from the bottom or something. So we'll get 3 people on each shift, and we'll just keep on adding shifts as we add people.
Until we've come full circle.
And then we'll just have to build up the number of people on each shift, but we shouldn't get to that point. I can take that out now. Alright, so this is going to be clean water, but it's going to be infected. That's going to be dirty water, but it's going to be infected. So I actually also need a clean water, a clean, and a clean polluted water tank as well.
Potato is asking if he can be put into the 5 hours later schedule because he would like to have it mirrored with his real life sleep schedule.
Oh yeah, we could put people in according to their time zones. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Blood Elf says that this is a good feature. He hasn't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's new with this update. So I would like a clean water tank up somewhere near the kitchen. Now what I could do is to put another
so
floor,
that when
get the
it
kitchen
breaks,
up
it just
here.
dumps all the water on me. I see where you're going. You're plotting a murder.
No, it's so that you don't have to go very far, Mia.
Yes, not very far to my death. The spotted... no,
and I
hold
do
on.
want to
Sorry.
put some...
Crazy Potato is a hardcore night owl. And Blood Elf would also like to become a night owl as soon as he gets added.
Now I'm going to limit that to 10 kilograms. And I am going to put meal lice in here.
Oh yes, a cupboard full of lice.
Mm-hmm. And we need to have that quite
Imagine
high priority.
someone, not knowing about this and opening the cupboard and just being buried in lice.
Oh, this is for our hatches, because we're going to wrangle some hatches. And sedimentary rock, which I don't believe we've got any of at the moment, but I'll reserve a space for it. And I'm going to
The
mark
spotted
these...
cow prefers to work night shift because it does not like working with other people. Well, yeah, of course you're a cow. Of course you don't like working with people. The majority of them try to eat you.
And the problem is that because we're all night owls, we'll all end up on the same shift.
Sir Grand Dictator Sal will dictate when you get to sleep. All hail the glorious leader.
Alright, so there we've got some, and I need to tell it to drop off hatches.
Blood Elf points out that when working in this colony of Sals, it's inevitable that you'll see a lot of people. Oh look, who's suffering through being hungry? Glorious leader Sal. She's probably not really hungry, she's just keeping this up, so...
Oh, unpermitted food.
Ooh, hold your
yeah,
horses.
right, okay.
Go to one
Need
of
to
the
do-
chlorine areas and see how those draken thingies
Oh,
snore.
you want me to see how they snore?
Are they even asleep? They don't look asleep. Oh, they're not asleep.
No,
They
it
just
seems they
creepily
don't
loom
sleep.
on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not fun.
How's our baby shine bug doing? Oh, it's grown up actually. This must be the 3rd generation shine bug because there's 2 lots of eggs. Okay, so I need to... work out where I'm going to put the kitchen and the clean water tank. And if
you mean it's not going to stay up there in the hallway?
Which, what?
The kitchen.
No, this will be a room. I could put it here and move research. That's a possibility. Let's just see. Oh, who's mastered a job? Cell. Let's just have a look at that first. Right, Cell. So, did you do gopher? No, you've not. Right, you're joining me as a gopher. That will pick up your strength, I think it is.
Potato would like to know what I'm drinking. A nice, refreshing glass of ice cubes. Because I ran out of grape juice about half an hour ago.
He's very grateful. See what I did there?
No, I'm not sure what I'd be grateful for. You're trying to kill me.
It makes me very cheery to make fruity jokes about being grateful.
Those are the only 2 jokes you thought of so far. One about cherries, one about grapes.
Yeah. Hey, that's going well. Come on, for me.
Well,
I'm terrible at remembering
beanful.
Jokes. You're
as in full of beans because I had some lovely chili today. That Sal still refused. Come on, how dare you dislike the beans? I'm thinking about those beans, Sal.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it does remove some carbon dioxide. How much?
Blood Elf Craggy says that Blood Elf hears that I am very salty about running out of grape juice. I'm salty about virtually anything.
Right, let's have a look at research now. I need the sensors. What did I just research? I've forgotten.
Something water.
Yeah,
Filtration.
Right. So I've just finished the distillation.
Yes.
Right, we now need the hydro sensor.
Lovely. In the meantime, Aziz has returned and would like to know how the ranching is coming along.
Right.
Maybe you should zoom in on your somewhat functioning ranch.
Okay, so we've set the critter drop-off to accept hatches. And I filled the critter feeders. I've got one that is set up for sedimentary rock, which I've only got a tiny little bit of. And so I've got another one which is set up for to accept a small amount of meal lice, enough so that they won't starve. And I've put them on quite a high priority so that somebody will always keep them filled. And all we're waiting for now is for Bernie to finish learning farming so that I can make him a rancher, and then he will go and
all the hatches.
wrangle these hatches.
Can we put in some ranch decorations in there, like a miniature barn?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, fine.
Right, he is already on high for farming and ranching. Yep, so as soon as he's
Potato
trained up.
has an interesting question for you, Sal. What do you think about this concept of time travel? You're bound to your own lifespan and can only move back in time to a younger state of yourself, but you keep all your memories of your oldest self.
Just a second. Right, I'm going to need to do a little bit of planning. And I'm going to have to be careful about that slime lung, so I don't want to go right to the end.
Zeeks is really concerned about your polluted air. You really need some air...
Oh, I've put a few more down, actually.
Theorizers.
Yeah. Because I only had 2. Oh, look, see, we've got food poisoning in the air. But that's fine. That won't affect us. But that does mean that somebody didn't wash their hands.
Cell Technology is
'Cause it's
asking
got
meal
down here
lice?
too.
No. Meal lice, as in lice for feeding.
So, as long as I steer clear of breaking into here and I stay away from that slime lung, we'll be okay for the moment. So, yeah, I've put down a few more oxidizers. Air deodorizers, I mean. And what I want to do now is build a place. I was going to have a look and see whether I should move the research or move the cooking.
I like where the cooking is, so move the research.
That's probably the right way to go, because the cooker's got to travel up and down a lot. Both the food's got to come out of there and the ingredients have got to go in there, so that's probably the right way to go. So if I move up the research, I
thought you wanted to put a water tank up there.
No, I'm going to put the water tank next to you.
Oh.
So I'm going to move the research.
Oh, I imagined this completely wrong. Now, just to make sure that I've read it out properly, Isaac said, make an air deodorizer, please. He does not like to have your duplicants to be sick and then die.
Yeah. Don't worry, they will only get sick if I let this green germs into the base. But then, yes, they would get sick very, very quickly. But yes, I've put more down. I know we need
touched the
more,
food poisoning. Someone had food poisoning and touched the storage cupboard.
But yes, we will deal with that.
Send the decontamination crew. In the meantime, Tammy wants to have some clarification on Potato's time travel concept. Are you allowed to make changes to your life with the knowledge you gathered from the future? Or are you stuck reliving your life over and over again because all your choices have already been made for you and you're not allowed to change them because you're bound by fate? Blood Elf Craggy says Mia's voice reminds him of Robert Rinder from the Judge Rinder show from the telly. Have we seen Judge Rinder before?
It's not a name that I'm familiar with.
There's the culprit. Who's the yellow guy who's sick? Is it Potato? It's probably Potato. Please zoom in on them.
Somebody didn't wash their hands.
Zoom in on them so I can publicly shame them.
It was Potato.
It is Potato.
Well, we can fix that.
Potato, wash your hands, please, in the future. You're going to die.
Someone's been to the jobs board and not washed their hands. We can say, Potato, wake up, come down here.
That's your
punishment. Come and wash your hands.
It's your punishment for touching the toilets and not washing your hands. Well, I'm happy that I remind people of judges. Because I like to judge people.
Meh.
No, it's true.
Stop being so meerish.
Fine. Speaking about meerish things to do, am I allowed to tell a story about Verfolgungswahn?
What's that?
Right. Yeah, we had that discussion about a week ago on Friday. Basically, I realized that from the office windows, I can stare over into a large apartment complex on the other side of the road, which...
It's a hotel.
As Sal pointed out, while I was staring over to them, that this is a hotel, and people are very likely to just be naked in there for some reason. It's concerning, but...
Get a lot of naked people in the hotel, it's true.
Yes, and apparently some of them like coming to the window. And, I kept glancing over there because I felt like I was being watched by someone. I was suffering from... I wanted to say paranoia, but I felt like that wasn't quite the right word. I was looking for a word similar to the German word Verfolgungs... What are you doing? You're removing the floor... You just fell to... You just fell a whole floor, Sal.
That's okay.
I was
We'll put it
looking
back
for
now.
the German word Verfolgungswahn in English, which basically implies a certain sense of paranoia about being followed. Although you seemingly also don't have a proper word for Verfolgung either, you just have to rely on context to make sure people understand that you're talking about the bad kind of following. And then, in the office, I try to explain the bad kind of following and the example of Jesus. Remember that?
This was not necessarily the best kind of... I'm not sure this story would translate. It might be one of those where you would have to have been there at the time to understand why it was so funny.
I forgot why it was funny, but that doesn't stop me from telling the story. And so you have the types of followers Jesus had, which were generally, I imagine, nice fellas, but then you have the bad follower who tried to kill Jesus by kissing him. Yeah, okay, maybe you had to have
Yeah, I
been
think
there.
you would have had to have been there at the time.
There was a larger punchline to this following after this, but I'm not sure what it was. The only thing I remember was that it's about me wearing a pirate's hat, standing out on rooftops and watching people's homes, just staring
Yeah.
down into them.
Why were you doing that, Mia? I can't remember.
I do that normally. That's not the pirate hat thing, but, you know, I've got some concerns about the neighbors. Like I kept stating so far already, one of the neighbors has a pig as a pet. And I'm not sure how this works. Do they just keep the pet in a separate room? Does the pig get to roam around? I have to assume this is a small apartment that definitely wouldn't have the space to accommodate a full-sized pig. I don't understand why we were talking about me wearing a pirate hat, though. Sal, you were there. Please help recollect some of that story.
I can't remember.
Well, that's very helpful of you. Thank you, Sal. I feel like my story is wasted now. I should have prepared more. I should have remembered.
Right, research was on 6.
Pointer. The funny bit of the
I
joke
was on
about Jesus and his
7.
followers.
And now we can... dismantle
Isaacs reminds you
lot.
that you should not forget to make a refrigerator because the mush bars will corrupt if they stay allowed too long.
Oh, well, what I've got to deal with that is the ration box down here is in a sterile atmosphere. So, because it's there's no oxygen in this atmosphere, it means that the food won't rot.
That is a neat trick that you should probably pick up for the future. Also, we've got new friends.
Oh gosh, I didn't even notice. New duplicants available. Anybody good? Don't want a yokel because I like everybody to be able to research. Don't want anemic. Oh, I don't like dig either because then people build themselves into a place that they can't dig themselves out of.
Well done. We seemingly only get bad batches lately.
If I ban them from building, because they've got... does want to be a rancher.
Cell Technology is asking, Jesus' kryptonite is kisses? Well, not directly. The kisses then, through a series of convoluted events, then led to being nailed to a cross, which ultimately is Jesus' kryptonite.
Well, I don't remember where that bit came up in the story.
Come on, Judas went over to the Romans and said,
No, I mean, where
hey fellas,
in
I'm
your
gonna kiss
story,
a guy.
I don't
What do
remember
you mean
where...
you don't remember? Judas was the bad kind of follower.
No,
you have
no,
your cool
I mean,
friends
where...
that go out for fish with you, and then you have Judas, who you should be suffering from Verfolgungswahn from, as in following paranoia, because this guy just kisses you, and then the next morning you're suddenly being nailed to a cross, which I like the analogy of The cross being Jesus' kryptonite, because sure, Jesus died a bit while he was on the cross, but as soon as he was removed from the cross, he recovered again. So it's just like kryptonite.
So let's say no to that story.
No, okay, fine.
You would have had to have been there, I'm afraid.
Ugh. Isaacs was suggesting you should choose nails, as in the duplicant who you discarded. Again, you shouldn't choose every duplicant that gets offered to you. You need to be very careful about who you want to have in your colony. Also, Potato made a doodle of Sal trying to catch that weird upside-down lizard thing. Look, Sal.
Poking
you
it
have
with a brush.
Broom. Anyway, moving back up again, Potato said that in his time travel scenario, you can change the past, but choices can drastically change your future, and any useful future sight you had becomes null in your immediate life. So the trick here is to dedicate your life to research over and over again and memorize the important bits of your research at the end, jump back and restart over again, but using your gathered knowledge to do more research. So you can jumpstart the 23rd century out of nothing.
Forgot to connect it.
I thought that was by design.
No. Well, it was originally. I didn't connect it at first because I didn't want them running in a wheel that wasn't connected to anything, but then I forgot to connect it.
Tammy's talking about Judas, but like you said, I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
No, I don't mind people talking about religion. It was just your story was...
Come on.
You would have had to have been there to appreciate it.
Well, the Jesus kryptonite thing wasn't part of the story anymore. I was...
You were off on one in a way that related to a story that was not really relatable. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sure people...
Okay.
Well, one person, Cell Technology, probably appreciated it. Come on, Cell Technology, back me up here.
And it needs to be out of...
Isaacs would like to know if that time travel concept is asking about the game or about the life of Sal. No, Potato was just wondering about how Sal would deal with this fictional scenario in her real life. She can't really time travel, nor can she really time travel in-game. There aren't a lot of good time travel games out there. Tammy would like to know if going back in time would bring lost loved ones back to life. Oh no. I said back me up, not pack me up. Cell Technology's packing me up. I realized that I'm one of the people who get vacuumed the most around here. It's concerning me, slightly. Isn't that a bit far away? Oh, never mind.
Okay, so this is gonna give us... This is where we're gonna have our clean water. And this is all about dealing with this polluted water.
I find that the clean water tank is awfully close to that slime lung concentration.
That's okay, we're not going anywhere near this.
Yes, but if we'll eventually dig through there, don't we?
Not until we can clean this lot. It will be a long time before we cut through there.
Cell Technologies wants to have confirmation that when Potato travels back in time, or Sal travels back in time in Potato's story, only the mind is changing. Everything else reverts back to how it was in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Isaacs points out that you're not talking about the game enough. I should be quiet. Sal, go forth. Speak about the game.
Okay, so, plan now. I've just got to replace this little bit of sandstone with granite so that this is strong enough to support water. And then we'll have a tank where we can store our clean water. Because I need to dig this out here. which means that it's no longer good at storing clean water. Then I've got somewhere I can dig this out where we can store our polluted water. And if I put just a little sprinkle of clean water on the top of it, it will hold the polluted oxygen back. Then
How do we put a sprinkle of clean water in there? It's not like we can manually pump that in there.
Yeah. I'll be putting a manual pump on top of here. And that's how we drop the bottled water in. I can then tell them to just drop just one bottle of fresh water on top of it. We'll keep it clean. Best shift that.
Tammy points out that if she were to be able to travel back in time like this, she would go to the classmates who bullied her in the past and would kick them in the... do you know that jolly good... What?
In the proverbials, maybe?
I suppose. I was going to talk about that jolly good fella made of wood that you use around Christmas. What do you call them? Oh no, it has the bat word in the name.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A nutcracker, you...
Oh! Okay. Yep, that was cryptic.
Come on, jolly good fella made of wood. Zeeks points out that your plans for a new water storage system look very good.
Oh, thank you.
I realised I was talking about non-game related things again. I apologise.
That's okay.
For you, maybe.
Yep. So these, I have made all of this out of granite and all of the walls. Yep. Good.
I mean, I realise that it's in a sterile environment, but does the compost pile need to be next to the food storage?
No, it'd actually be best if it wasn't, but I really needed to keep it away from the plants.
Right.
And I would like to drop the food a little bit lower. Could even drop it down here, actually. There would be no harm in doing that.
Nutcrackers are made out of plastic these days.
They
How
are.
are they supposed to crack nuts?
Idle people, because I'm not paying attention. Alright, idle people.
Shouldn't Bell also have mastered his thing by now?
He should have, actually. I'm surprised he hasn't. I'll check.
Maybe he did and we just missed it. We also missed the new duplicant being ready to print.
So... No new duplicant. Bernie, have you finished farming? No, he's halfway through. Oops. Right.
Potato explains further that yes, you are going to keep your mind and you'll be bringing back all the skills you learned in your life back in time with you. So say, for example, you're 30 years old and you go back to when you were 10 years old. You'll have the mental age of a 30-year-old plus all the memories and skills from all the way up that age, but you'll still have the physical body of a 10-year-old. So the best option is to be memorizing all the lottery numbers for the next 8 years.
I don't know if that'll work.
For the past 8 years, when you're 18, travelling back in time, and then it's just spooking everyone by guessing the lottery numbers right every time. Isaacs would like to know how you can solve the problem of so much carbon dioxide being in your colony.
Oh, we'll get some carbon skimmers eventually. The algae terrariums are taking a little tiny bit away. But yeah, to start with, I'm actually using the carbon dioxide because the mealwood is breathing it. And we're skimming a little bit with the algae terrariums. But yeah, we'll get a carbon skimmer in here to get rid of the carbon.
It's a fine line to walk.
Gonna need to take that one out. Let's just make sure that's well away from the germs. Yes, it is.
Cell Technology was asking the weird question, what constitutes a skill? Potato tried to explain it that you may know how to perform kung fu at the age of 30, but when you're back in your 10-year-old body, you still hit like a 10-year-old. Oh,
okay.
In Oklahoma, they didn't have a lottery when Tammy was 18.
I'm trying to remember when we introduced a lottery here. It was maybe 1990s, and it was a bit controversial as well.
Hold on, could you go into the germ view just for my personal reassurance?
What, you worried about this being too close to the germs?
Yes.
I did check that.
Oh, we've got loads of room. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't want to get any closer though. Not just because of the germs, but also because we're starting to get, a bit close to the heat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want the water being heated if we can help it.
Well,
why are they not sweeping that? Must be because, all the storage containers are full. Right, let's get some more storage containers. I'll build those on a 4 because I've got other things I'd rather they were doing. And then I'll switch it back to a 5 before I forget. Okay, so now they can go collect water, and I want to enable auto bottling. Let's see. Yep. Happy with that.
Isaacs is asking if your algae is finished, will you use the slime product in it instead?
I probably won't get to the point where we run out of algae because...
Hold your horses, Blood Elf. If washing the dishes takes longer than 19 minutes for you, we probably won't be able to tell you what happens.
Oh, why? Are we that close to the end of the episode?
18 minutes now, yes.
Ooh.
And Blood Elf Craggy is going to wash the dishes. Please return to your explanation for why, if you're going to use slime for when the algae thing's finished.
Yeah. So I do that from time to time, but it wouldn't be a major source of oxygen, of algae, because I'll be switching away from using algae for oxygen. I'll be putting in a lot
of farty people in a closed room.
What are they called? The electrolyzers. So we'll be using electrolyzers once we've got the water system sorted out, because then we can capture the hydrogen and use that for power.
Potato points out that if you want to travel back in time and having a lot of lottery numbers in your head, you better have good memory. Goodness gracious, it can't be that hard. When I was attending school, I was made to memorize like 10, 20 poems over the course of my school life. I don't know why, but we did it and I managed it. So... remembering a few lottery numbers with some dates can't be that hard.
Oh, there's another hatch down there.
Tammy would like to know if she can invest in the stock market. Oh yeah, you probably can. As long as you're old enough to invest in the stock market. If you turn into a 10-year-old girl, you're probably not allowed at the stock market, despite the large statue outside the door implying you might be.
Okay, so I do need to give them a bit of time to come and get that water.
Isaacs would like to know how long this live stream will still last. About 15 minutes at the time of me looking at the clock. It might be a little less when this message gets to your ears. But basically, we're ending at the end of the full hour. And the next live stream will probably happen on Wednesday. I'll give you more details as soon as we come closer to the end.
Yeah. So I think Algeria is in the time zone. I think it's in the time zone
Middle
of
European
Spotted
time
Cow, I think.
zone.
Yeah.
So GMT +2?
No,
not sure if-
GMT +1 is European time, isn't it?
Yes, but they
don't know
have
about
summertime
daylight
too.
saving. Oh, I don't know.
So in theory, at
where
the
it
moment, it
is
would be GMT +1.
The closer you are to the equator, the less likely you are to have daylight saving time.
Oh yeah, Algeria probably doesn't. But then again, they might not be falling into the Middle European time zone. You should be aware that Europe spans across 3 time zones, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I was thinking about where Algeria is. And so which of the time zones it was probably in. And I was thinking, I think it would be probably in the time zone where Spotted Cow is.
Tammy says that her father would have invested into the stock market for her. I would like to visualize that conversation you would have had as a 10-year-old trying to convince your dad to invest into Apple? No, Apple wasn't probably... I'm not sure. When did Apple enter the stock market? Wasn't that early 2000?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know when they went public.
Oh, okay.
GMT +1.
So it's currently...
Same as us. Is it
almost 10 o'clock for you? If it is, congratulations, you're living in the same time zone. Well, that's not really an achievement, but...
Alright, so...
And then Tammy's father would have complained about the taxes on April 15th. Well, just give him a moment until the dividends are coming in and he gets some out of it. He'll be complaining less. And I assume you'll get some nice stuff in return. I don't know what 10-year-olds like. Sal, what would a 10-year-old like?
Who's idle? Why is somebody... Oh, okay, because it's in use. Right. I'll just tell you my plan now for this next bit.
Heavens. Blood Elf Craggy was really quick with making dishes. Did anything happen?
Nobody died.
Oh, that's not really something. We briefly discussed time zones.
What I'm going to do here is... Let's see, that is going to actually become one higher. I can put that in now. That wouldn't be a problem. I just can't let them start digging down, otherwise we'll end up with all of this fresh water.
Hold on, stop.
Mm-hmm.
They could reach the right one and they would start digging down.
Oh, Cell's got to go. Bye.
Goodbye. I would not put the right one in because they can reach that one and they'll start digging on it and then they'll dig down.
No, they'll build that one. They might even build that one.
Yes, but first they'll dig the hole. First they'll dig the hole and then the water will seep down there.
It's okay, and then they'll put the block in and we'll be fine.
Wasn't there a thing about water getting deleted?
Oh, that was in, like, Alpha 6 or something.
Oh, never mind.
Yes, when they put the block in there, then the water will pop back out again, like it does in real life in that sense. What I'm going to do here is to put a bunch of algae terrariums just below the level of the highest thingy. And I
What?
Actually, no. Do you know what? I'm going to do it over here. What am I thinking? Yeah. So the algae terrariums take clean water. So I've got to feed them clean water and I can drip it over them.
Oh, Isaacs is leaving. Goodbye.
Bye! Yeah.
Well, we would still be streaming for another 11 minutes if you want to stay for the rest.
Work. Just, Yeah. Okay. So I've now worked out a way in which we can get clean polluted water, which we would then convert into clean water. So I'm going to need to work out where I'm going to put my clean polluted water tank as well. But that could just go down here somewhere. And then we can pipe it wherever it needs to go. Well, it needs to go up here. I'll just pipe it. Oh, yes, right, plans. So I'm actually going to use these guys to clean the germs out of the germy water once we get it. And I can do that by just putting them on top here. It's a plan. In that case, I need to remove that block. and move it one down. Let's see, and I can build all of that in right now, but I might as well just build that bit first. Oh, I've got some clay. Okay, we'll make it out of clay.
Run that by me again. I thought these things dispense polluted water. Why
do.
would we put that over the clean water tank? Wouldn't that drop down there into the polluted water? Clean water?
Yeah. Right, so when I pump clean water in here, it's going to be germy clean water. Oh, new friends. And then I'll run you through it in just a second.
More soup, probably. Unconstructive.
I don't like these people. Yep, so...
What is unconstructive
Unconstructive means that they will dig themselves into a
again?
hole and they can't build themselves out. We've had a real bad...
loud.
Yokel means that they can't learn how to research, so they'll never... I can't give them the boost to their intelligence.
Ralph is asking germy clean water. Okay.
Yeah, I'll explain that in a second. And... Oh, is that Ralph? Hello,
yes,
Ralph.
We've been trying to print you for a while. But we only got soup the entire day.
Yeah. Mouth breather is not ideal and can't dig. So he can build himself into somewhere and not dig himself out.
Ralph says, make me. She's going to make you soup.
I'm turning
Here, a
everybody
nice
into
bowl
soup.
of duplicant soup.
Right, so let me explain.
Right.
Okay. When we put in a toilet system,
Yes.
which is our next goal. Yep. The toilets, as you have seen, become full of food poisoning. So they will output their germy, polluted water into a tank. And what we'll do then is we'll use a water purifier to make it into clean water. But that clean water is still going to be full of germs because it takes the pollution out, but it doesn't take the germs out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drip it across the... I'm going to use that clean water and I'll actually run it across the floor and it'll come down this ladder here to as it goes through the distiller. So if you imagine the distiller's here.
Yes.
Let's get it. Water sieve. So this will be here. Say, let's just put it somewhere. It'll be a bit more over this way, but that'll do for the moment. So we take polluted germy water, we put it through this, we get clean germy water. We run it along the floor. It feeds the algae terrariums with water. They take clean water, they don't care if it's germy or not. They then output bottles of polluted water, but the polluted water have no germs. So then I can manually clean up those bottles, tip them into a polluted water tank, and then put that through another one of these. So say we've got another tank here with just clean polluted water, and then I can put that through another refiner and then pump it up here to the clean water.
Although I worry that the algae terrarium wouldn't be able to pick up all the germy water, would it?
If I put enough of them in.
Well, we only have 2 so far.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I want to cancel that before they go and build it.
Ralph would like to know what flavour the soup has. Potato suggested mushroom. Tammy is glad that no one suggested potato soup, but inadvertently suggested it herself. And Ralph is suggesting beef or spotted cow soup. Also, Ralph would like you to start fermenting the Jeremy water and turn it into ale. So you do it the British way. Feed the small oxygen not included to children bread and gin, like Queen Victoria has taught us. I disapprove. I believe that I'm making very good omelettes around here. On the rare occasions, glorious Commander Sal allows me to have eggs. They're a rare commodity and a luxury good, and she probably hides them all under her bed so she can eat them herself.
It's lies, I tell you, lies. All lies.
We saw you all in the kitchen. I'm pretty sure that whoever's wearing that weird farmer's hat didn't wash their hands.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
There's a few people who haven't washed their hands.
The capacity of the wash basins is not up to snuff.
It might be that they were out of water for a while, because at the moment they're manually filling.
Crazy Potato is wondering if the game allows you to cook duplicants into about 10,000 calories of food.
No, if somebody dies, you can't actually use them for
food.
Food.
Well, what a shame. Tammy says you could make moonshine with the Jeremy clean water.
Yeah.
The American way, I suppose.
Okay, right, idle people. And I don't want to get building until this has got a good supply of clean water, because it will take a little while before we've got all of this set up to make us clean water. I suppose I could put it in here. I could pump it up there, actually. And then, because I'm going to need pipes running up here from down here anyway. Yeah, right. Okay, people, I'll let you get on and build this.
Ralph thinks that a Prohibition era oxygen not included would sound fun. Well, Sal could make it so.
Oops. Yeah, about being trapped there?
Oh yeah, well done. Glorious Leader Sal is about to die.
Actually, I would rather... You didn't dig that until you're absolutely desperate. There you go.
You could have died.
I was keeping a close eye on things.
Tammy actually has a recipe for moonshine, but she doesn't drink it, so it doesn't get made very often. Wow. Implying that it at least gets made sometimes.
Okay, right. Gotta be a bit careful about this now, so I'm just going to pause it while I lay out my plumbing.
Oh, the spotted cow is leaving us.
Oh, bye, spotted cow.
In fact, the spotted cow reminds me that your time is kind of up.
Oh.
Oh, does that mean I should move on to do the outro? Is there anything very important you'd still like to show to people? I've got a feeling you just don't want to stop.
I don't want to stop. Enjoying myself. Oops. No, feel free. You do the outro.
Well, here is something experimental, so please forgive me if this doesn't work. I tried to make it easy, but it might go horribly wrong. Look at this. It's a bubble that's floating up. If you've enjoyed watching this so far and would like to see us do more of this, you could join us next Wednesday at 8 p.m. GMT+1, where I'll be streaming Ghost of a Tale, a weird game about mice. However, if you rather prefer watching Oxygen Not Included, as you've been seeing today so far, you could return next Thursday at 8 p.m. GMT+1, which will be about 2 hours ago from now. Alternative, if neither of us are your particular cup of tea, Potato will be streaming Detroit Become Human. Never mind, he will be streaming Detroit Hugh, apparently, on Saturday at 8 p.m. GMT+1 on his personal Twitch channel, which is crazy_potato1. Well, that went well.
Yeah.
Look, it's fancy stream bubbles just floating around in the background, illustrating what games we'll be streaming soon. Although Potato's thumbnail went a bit wrong. It occasionally turns into Detroit Hugh. But there we go.
Right, I'll stop playing now. I promise.
Any last words before this all fades to black? I said a predetermined amount of time. I should have probably put a timer on my screen so I know how long I still have.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.
Should I turn it off now, or should I wait until it fades out? It does a really fancy fading out.
They do really. You've put that fade out really slow, Mia.
Yeah, I did put it really slow because I wasn't sure how much we'd be saying afterwards. Sometimes you have like whole monologues.
Bye, everybody.
Oh no, a fire!